Hey, what is going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at another HD Build Divers kit. This is the Core Gundam II in G3 colors. They're releasing 2 different color versions of this. I opted for the G3 colors because I love the G3 colors. Who doesn't? There is also a darker color scheme version of this as well too, but this is going to be pretty cool. So this is the Core Gundam II, which I have not built before yet. So this will be my first time building Core Gundam II. The original Core Gundam, of course, I've built in the past kits, but this is just the Core Gundam by itself as well too, which is cool. So those of you guys who wanted just a Core Gundam 2 here on its own, now we finally got this. It's also got a simple beam rifle and a shield in there as well too, which is, I think, pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and check it out, shall we? For the box art there, it's looking very cool. The Gundam itself anyway is very prominently featuring this big tattoo of a logo it's got there on the thigh. It's kind of odd placement for such a very large logo, and it seems like very front and center here on the box art, so I kind of like don't really like that. It's a little bit much for me, but minus that, very cool box art here. There you can see it transformed there in the background, does do that. We can see this is number 42 in the line. So here's a little note about that. So new Build Divers emblem stickers are included. Yay! There's the core flyer version, then it can change into just the regular kind of, I guess, mobile suit form there. So it's got the core defensor and a core hanger too, so those are going to be the parts you'll need for doing that transformation, and just that is used as a shield, I believe, as well too, right? I believe so. And it also can be attached onto his back skirt there. So here's also some other gunplate in the line, a Neptate armor and a Core Gundam G3 colors and a V2 unit there, for example. On the other side, there's just a front and back look at what that is going to look like with the big shield part or whatever attached onto his back skirt. I thought it could be used as a shield. Am I wrong about that? Let's see. Let's open it up here. So we've got just 2 bags of runners there. So not a whole lot going to be included with this, obviously. And our instructions are pretty unique in that it's basically like one big fold-out page here. I'm not sure I've ever quite seen instructions quite like these before. If we fold that in half, you can see that kind of, it looks like the original layout was to be like a kind of normal, smaller sized manual like this, and then they just decided to make it into this big fold-out map of a page here. But so we just have general construction of the body there, torso, backpack, head, arms, legs, and then background here. On the black and white side is the completion and the weapons. See, it looks like you can use that as a shield, but it's holding onto the shield the same way as the original Core Gundam was, like with the original Earth 3 Gundam, and it's a really awkward way to hold the shield, so not really too happy about that, but we'll see how it looks anyway. It's got the beam saber handles on there. Do we have beam saber effect parts as well too? No, indeed we don't. And there's even a little note there that says that those are included with the Earth 3 Gundam, so no beam saber effect parts included with this. But we just got all the basic stuff there. Here's how to transform it. There's our parts list and color guide in here as well too. Let's just go ahead and have a look at the runners. So here is the foil sticker sheet, and as you can see, it's basically just for the eyes, head cameras on like the shield part, I believe, and like on the transforming bits. Other just camera stuff basically. And then our 2 big logo marking stickers there as well, just on our foil sticker sheet. And a PC002 for our polycaps in a very dark gray. Our A runner is going to be in 4 colors. We got a couple of clear bluish green parts up there at the top, some kind of normal, a little bit kind of light desaturated purple over here on this side, and then some deeper dark bluish purple kind of parts down here, and then our off-white color parts for like the main armor color. Runner C, like the polycaps, is in this very dark, slightly bluish gray color here. It's like a really dark navy color for basically all the joints and everything, and then some parts of the body and the weapons parts and everything on there. And the same thing here for runner D as well. So you can see some of the transforming parts, hand parts, the little base plate there for when it's transformed and all that. And there you go. That's it, just the 3 runners. So that's it for the runners, guys. Not a whole lot to this kit. Gonna be very simple. It's basically like a very simple HG Gundam, but even smaller. So it should be pretty fun. Let me go ahead and get it put together and we'll see how it looks. So right here it is, guys, and it's just really cool to finally have just a Core Gundam that you can just buy and have it on its own, because the Core Gundam, I know there's a lot of people out there who are just fans of the Core Gundam on its own that were hoping that you would be able to just buy one on its own like this, that then you can use for customizing like that, or just paint it by itself without having to buy the full kit and then having a bunch of parts left over, like half the kit left over that you can't use if you're only planning on using the Core Gundam. Now with the ability to just build it like this is very cool. Hopefully they'll do the same thing for the Core Gundam 1 at some point. I kind of maybe don't see that happening though, unfortunately, but at least for the Core Gundam 2 we've got it, and it does look very cool. The big logo sticker on there, still thinking that that's kind of dopey looking, but hey, I threw it on there just for the sake of it. And the clear parts though especially do look very cool, so let's go ahead and take a closer look. So just take a look at the Core Gundam itself. First of all, the head, the color separation over there, the details, everything does look really super nice. Like I said, the clear parts look good. good. Got a sticker there for the head camera, but it does match pretty well with the clear parts. You've got a sticker here on the back of the head as well too, and of course just for the eyes, but that all looks really nice. Just throw a little bit of pen line wash in here to bring out some of those details. It'll be looking really sharp. For the articulation of it, the head will go up to there, down to there. You can turn that around and round. Of course, this shoulder joint will basically be on a ball joint, so you can just kind of wiggle that back and forth. Bring the shoulder up and extend the arm up to about there, which is pretty good. And the arm works pretty normally. Rotation here at the top is kind of tight, and then a double joint there at the elbow, giving a really nice full bend there. The wrist is then just on a ball joint there, and then the midsection, you have a little bit of movement here. It's basically just whatever that ball joint will allow there, but as you kind of raise that up, you're kind of pulling it off the ball joint there a little bit, so you can kind of raise it up a little bit to get a little bit of an ab crunch, but just be a little bit careful with that. Otherwise, of course, it's just going to rotate there. These kind of tiny little front skirt sections, of course, will rotate a little bit. That's for adding the actual armor up underneath them if you wanted to, but that's all it really has for skirting armor. The legs have no trouble coming all the way out to the side there, all the way to the front and back. Obviously, you're not going to have any issues with that. Rotation there at the top of the leg. The knee joint, which is kind of like the whole lower half of the leg, basically all bends like that. And then sort of the ankle joint, as it were, will rotate there as well too, and you can bring that up forward and point that back down again like that as well. And then back around here on the backpack, of course, the beam saber handles can be rotated down like that as well if you preferred. But there's basically a look at the kind of general articulation of the main kit. Tiny as it is very nicely articulated. You got the simple accessories of the beam rifle here with the little sticker for the camera on that, just very simple. And then some hand options. Now you got this open hand here and these alternate holding hands here, which are going to be a little bit different from what I've got there on the kit. Now you can see just kind of the different look for those. And its main accessory here kind of is this big shield thing, and it has a sticker on there for that too. This can be held in the hand by this handle, or we can take this apart for putting it on its back, remove that part off there. And it says to move this handle down like that. It seems like it would be the other way around like that, you'd think, but nope, it goes like that. And then this section you want to bend out like that, just bend that up. You're going to come around and basically stick the nose cone on here facing the opposite direction, pointing back like that, and that's how you make it into its backpack that you can then plug up onto here. And now it's a big, giant, massive back skirt looking thing. It's kind of silly looking, not really a big fan of that, but that is something that you can do with this as well. Then of course we can transform it into the core flyer with these parts here. You have another sticker for that. The cool thing about this base too is that up underneath the base you have a space for storing your extra leftover hands, so you can just pop those into the underside of the base here. So everything can be stored up in there like that, very convenient. That's nice. And then this will just stick on here once we've got it all transformed. But let me go ahead and transform it and get it all on here, and we'll see how it looks. Right, so just kidding. Actually, this is not actually used for this kit, but you have this just in case you wanted to use the armor from like one of the armor sets or something that you can put onto here. So this ultimately kind of with this set as it is, this kit as it is kind of useless. It's just that. The core Gundam itself folds up into here, the core flyer here. So you can see basically like that big shield thing is on the back, and the beam rifle is plugged up into the front of that. The arms and legs are kind of folded up. Looks pretty goofy looking from the side or anything, but I mean from the top I guess it's you know, kind of a thing, but again it's something I don't really care too much for that. Basically I just want to use this as just a little tiny simple mini Gundam and use this big thing as a big massive shield. But so there you have it guys, it's a pretty simple kit that gives you a lot of really nice options, not necessarily with what's included in the box. I mean, you have the option to transform it, which I guess is something cool, but just the other options that I think are really great about this is just having a just simple core Gundam. If you wanted to paint this up, I mean, it's cool having it here in G3 colors, but if you wanted to instead paint it, you know, in just kind of normal Gundam tricolors or, you know, any kind of other Gundam color scheme, I think it would be really cool. So it's just a cool, simple kit that would be a really fun one to just paint up as it is, or customizing it, you know, with any of the different armor sets, the Earth 3, the V2, and so on and so on and so on and so on, the Mars 4, all these different ones that you can customize it with, and then of course mixing and matching those, like if you prefer the shoulder armor from one set or the leg armor from a different set. There's a lot of really great options that you can do with this, and it all works. So whether you have the Core Gundam 1 or the Core Gundam 2, all that stuff will all fit onto there just fine, so that is really cool aspect of this kit as well too. So the posability of it, it looks great, and it's like I said before, the details on it look really nice, especially the head, and it's just a nice sharp design for the head. It's very cool looking. So whether you want to get the G3 colors or the darker Titans color scheme version of this kit, I would definitely recommend checking it out for just a cool, simple, fun little kit to mess around with. maybe customize it with some different parts, or even using, you know, some anything else really. I mean, other Gundam parts or 30 Minutes Missions parts or something like that. You could have a lot of fun customizing this, so definitely check it out, guys. And if you feel so inclined, you can check it out at the USA Gundam Store. The link, as always, will be down in the video description down below. You can use my code there, ZakuAurelius10, to save 10% off everything there on the site. And just thank you guys all so much for your support here on the channel as well too, liking the video, commenting, subscribing, all that is greatly appreciated also. So just big thank you to all of you guys, and I hope y'all having a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye everyone.